100 naira ko. Estan baseko.
T23, just 19 days or thereabouts to the presidential swearing in of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and we saw that there are a lot of issues concerning the petition tribunal, and today the hearing would continue, hearing of Peter Obi of the Labour Party and also Atiku of the People's Democratic Party. There's interesting stories we have for you today, but before we go into the stories for today, I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide, and with me here is my ever wonderful co-host.
Welcome to the show, Lagos This Morning. I am Gladys Alozie. I hope you're ready for the smooth ride, because it promises to be very smooth as usual.
Yes, it promises to be very, very smooth, as we have the tribunal considering PDP and Labour Party's request of doing a live transmission of the presidential election tribunal proceedings. But before then, let's go straight into the top stories we have for you today. Tribunal to consider PDP and Labour Party's live broadcast requests.
On the next, we have Buhari Tinubu congratulates Adeleke supporters jubilate.
Crisis rocks APC over zoning of Senate President and Speaker.
El Rufai wants 80% for state, reverts back to 1964 constitution.
Court hears Obi's motion today, articles on Tinubu citizenship tomorrow.
Over $200 billion national assets lost to terrorism since 1999 coming from the federal government.
And also Beavers has come to stay, that is from the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Straight to the front pages of our newspapers this morning.
Let's start with The Punch. On the front page of The Punch newspaper, we have Tribunal to consider PDP, Labour Party's live broadcast request. Broadcasting proceedings live is of national importance. Atiku's legal team, Labour Party insists. Justice Samani promises speedy treatment of demand. APC vows appropriate response.
Speaker, 5 aggrieved aspirants team up against Abbas. More on page 7 of The Punch.
15 die in Sokoto boat accident, 25 missing.
Otedola films over Transcorp deal, Elumelu keeps mum.
Wow, Lagos bishop raped me twice, coming from a female pastor.
Okay. Over $200 billion US national assets lost to terrorism since 1999. That's coming from the federal government.
And federal government orders private jet removal from Abuja airport.
Final victory, Buhari Tinubu congratulate Adeleke as supporters jubilate in Osun State.
Let's move over to Vanguard newspaper.
Yeah, right on the top of the newspaper, we have Vanguard. Repatriation of export proceeds rise 40% to $5.6 billion. Emefiele.
On 10th Nan's leadership, crisis rock APC over zoning of Senate President and Speaker.
Supreme Court affirms Adeleke duly elected Osun State Governor.
Tinubu seeks dismissal of APM's petition, says it lacks merit.
On presidential inauguration, federal government orders airlines to relocate planes from Abuja terminal.
Again, herdsmen storm Benue communities, kill 3, injure many.
Buhari commissions AFAM 3 power plants.
On military onslaughts, terrorists flee Zamfara, invade Katsina villages.
And on sport, we have US therapist plead guilty in Okagbari's doping case.
Let's move on to the next newspaper front page. Let's take a look at The Nation.
Yeah, quickly on the top left corner, we have petrol subsidy pushing Nigeria to bankruptcy. Sanusi warns as the Mayfield says Buhari declined advice to end payments.
On National Assembly, Akpabio Abbas rally lawmakers for support.
Still on the front page of The Nation, we have monetary policy alone can't reset economy, says CBN, as non-oil sector critical to recovery.
House Speaker, Deputy Speaker candidate, Vice President-elect, Senate President candidates widens support base, and North Central senators protest zones neglect.
Tribunal adjourns Atiku's motion on live telecast. Interesting story.
Okay, let's look at this. It is only natural for one with the requisite qualification and gumption to occupy such an exalted office.
And also moving on to the front page of The Guardian this morning, we have amidst 168% tariff hike in 8 years, Nigerians pay premium for unavailable electricity.
BVS to the rescue, Supreme Court affirms Adeleke Osun governor.
Non-oil exporters receive 144 billion naira rebates in 14 months.
Concerns over electricity generation as terrorists eye national infrastructure.
Outrage. Outrage over abduction, forceful conversion of 14-year-old Esther to Islam in Kaduna.
On speakership, rapes adjoin amid alleged rule forgery in favor of Abbas.
Moving on, we have Daily Trust. Right there, we have Supreme Court affirms Adeleke as Osun governor.
On Sudan crisis, airlines sign agreement to airlift Nigerian Hajj pilgrims.
Senate probes NDDC over 1.4 trillion naira illegal spending.
15 girls die in Sokoto boat mishap.
On revenue sharing formula, El Rufai wants 80% for state, reverts to 1963 constitution.
And on crude oil theft, federal government demands 7 billion naira before vessel release, rather.
Soludo advocates devolution of powers. Let's deploy tech to diversify economy. That's coming from Pantami.
On a sad one, 7 fear dead after drinking tea at a wedding in Kano.
God. Wow. Tribunal hears Obi's motion today. Articles on Tinubu citizenship tomorrow as the former Lagos governor seeks dismissal of APM's petition.
Quickly, let's look at Daily Independence.
Right there, we have PDP explains why it insists on live
broadcast of tribunal proceedings.
That's what I just read.
Okay, just read that. Okay, we have federal government approves Transco Power as preferred bidder for Abuja Disco.
And Buhari canvasses support for Adeleke's programs in Osun as Supreme Court affirms his election as governor. Jubilation in Osun as Adeleke dedicates victory to God, says will of the people has survived anti-masses efforts.
That's actually, that was a good one yesterday. I was happy for the Adelekes. 2023 election most heard, fourth competitive race coming from Wajabiamila says power to oversight, not an invitation to conflict.
Presidential election court adjourns Atiku PDP APM's cases to May 11th.
Buhari to address new returning governors at NGF induction, former American governors to attend.
On inauguration, FAAN orders airlines to relocate aircraft from Abuja Airport.
Okay, Nigeria others contribute 97% of global preventable maternal mortality.
All right, exporters repatriate $7.3 billion in 18 months. That's coming from the CBN governor. Godwin Emefiele. CBN to publish beneficiaries of non-oil export rebate payments.
On the sporting scene?
On the sporting scene, we saw an interesting tie yesterday between the Los Blancos and the Citizens. Real Madrid won, Manchester City won. No victor in Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. All to play for in the Etihad Stadium. A very, very important game. I think the most important game in Manchester City's history now. So far, so good.
Seems like Osimhen is is open for, I don't know.
Contract talk.
Okay. Napoli open contract talks with Osimhen.
Yeah, probably they want to extend his contract. You know, they've actually seen what he can do and trying to lock him down based on this contract for the next probably 3 to 4 years to be able to get his services. Because right now, at the end of the season, offers will be coming from PSG, from Real Madrid, and other big clubs to try to persuade him to join them. But Napoli will try to get him to sign the contract.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be taking a look at the heroes and sheroes as well. Nigeria's early winners and top performance in 2023, from Victor Osimhen to Asisat Oshoala, and also the Nigerian kickboxer Adesonya.
Yesterday we saw Real Madrid and Man City playing draw.
Yeah, 1-1. Jude Bellingham of Dortmund to reject mega deal as Neymar set for PSG exit. I think there would be a little bit of, would I say, a tornado hitting PSG very soon, because now Neymar are set to exit the club, the French club, and also Messi, his future is also not looking too bright in the club after the controversy surrounding he traveling then coming back to apologize. I think for a player like Lionel Messi, the apology should have probably been offline apology, not actually making a video coverage of him. Just posting his video. It's like he made it under duress or something, and his fans were not actually happy with everything that actually transpired with
happy
PSG.
Or not happy, he's a humble guy. He did what he was supposed to do, if you ask me.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the front page of Daily Sun.
Tribunal entertains Atiku's pre-hearing petition tomorrow as Tinubu asks court to dismiss APM suit against his victory. Pro-democracy group tax CJN on fair judgment.
Nigeria's electricity market could be among world best as federal government chooses Transcorp as Abuja disco.
On Sudan crisis, NITCOM confirms return of 1,730 evacuees on 9 flights.
I was deprived of 1,072 votes in Nkanu East, Enugu governor-elect tells Tribunal.
Okay, Seplat holds AGM today in compliance with court order.
President Muhammadu Buhari, Tony Blair, Okonjo-Iweala to speak at induction of new and returning governors.
Reps adjourn plenary to May 16.
Jubilation in Osun as Supreme Court affirms Adeleke governor as the governor dedicates victory to God as Buhari solicits support for him. 1,441
killed in road crashes in 3 months coming from the Federal Road Safety Commission.
FRSC. And the last one we have The Point. Osun election verdict. Aregbesol's loyalists blame Oyetola for APC's defeats.
One party against fielding candidates with former governor's character. We are not happy we accept verdict. Osun APC. I will govern with fear of God. Adeleke.
Access, Ecobank, FCMB, GTCO, four other banks record 502 billion naira loan losses.
Omahi appoints 4 new commissioners 3 weeks to tenure expiration.
Federal government approves Transcorp Power's acquisition of Abuja Disco.
How Bishop Feyi Daniels raped me twice. Female pastor.
Raped you twice?
Raped her twice.
Oh, sorry, raped that twice. All right, before we go into the top stories and the discussions of the day, whereby we bring in our analyst, Christian Chuku, and also you'd have the opportunity to call in when we drop our phone line. When the phone lines are on, you'd have opportunity to call in. If you're watching us right now, you can click on the like button. If you've not subscribed as well, you can also do that quickly. And we have a lot of comments, we have a lot of feedbacks coming to us right now, which we would be reading after the break when we get back to you. Don't go nowhere. This is Lagos this morning.
We'll be right back.
100 naira ko, Esamba seko. Naira ko, Esamba seko.
All right, guys, welcome back. You're still watching Lagos this morning. You can click on the like button. And you can do well to subscribe to this channel. Moving on, let's take a look at our feedbacks from Ms. Gladys Oyabo and others as well.
Mrs. Gladys Oyabo, you're welcome to the show. She said, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Kelly Kensi says, hi. Obina Ukwoma says, hello. Nice to be here this morning, coming from Gladys Oyabo. Well done, dear beloved presenters. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Praise Abe. Mbappe mind too is in Real Madrid. It's just the money that is still keeping him. I believe he will leave soon. Okay. Wale says you are well done.
Thank you so everyone much for joining us. Well, I think Mbappe is waiting for Benzema's time to be up in Real Madrid. That's why he's still in PSG, and also for the fact that PSG has invested so much in him. And he does not really just want to leave PSG and just make them lose a lot of money like that, because he promised PSG that he's not going to leave them without, they would have to pay for him. Like, if you want to get Mbappe now, you have to pay PSG to get it. It won't work out. It won't walk away for free just like that. He said he's not that kind of a bad person. Okay, moving on to the political program, topic we have this morning. Tribunal to consider PDP and Labour Party's live broadcast requests. If you're watching us now and you want to contribute, we have a number that has been dropped in the comment section. The phone lines are open for everyone to join us on the program and drop your comment. Let us have your opinion and contributions as well. Well, I think the live broadcast, to some extent, it surely has its good side and bad side as well. But I think for transparency to everyone, and I also think there are other stakeholders in the political space who would not have the opportunity to be right there in the courtroom, because we saw videos whereby we saw videos that the courtroom were so congested, so they would need the whole process to be televised for people at home and everywhere to be able to witness what is going on in the court, and they'll be able to have their own say as well, and it will generate the public's reactions towards what's going on there. At least if we can't be there live, let us know what is going on there.
Sure.
And be seeing them for transparency.
You know, yesterday when we talked about this thing, you remember Mr. Sampson saying that televising the live broadcast is
it will be to cause more harm than good or something.
That some people will actually, okay, if it doesn't go some people's way, they might destroy things and all that. But like I said before yesterday, for the sake of transparency, I think it's actually okay for it to be televised. So nobody will say, I didn't see how it went. Everything will just be plain to everyone.
Yeah, beautiful. That's a nice response. And also, Buhari Tinubu congratulating Adeleke supporters jubilate. There was wild jubilations in Osun State yesterday, and to some extent, they are blaming Oyetola, the APC governor, for allowing PDP to take over the state. But I saw a series of videos where even the civil servants were jubilating. But I think that means the people are truly with Governor Adeleke. They really want to.
Like, I don't really understand how you fight the people that you are supposed to govern.
To serve.
You know, they are already tired of you to an extent, and then they came out en masse and voted for a different candidate. Just allow them to be, because even if you enter there, they might not even they might just, okay, he's our governor, and
you just have to accept it.
You know, they will not really yield to you. You get, and then I actually thought that the whole court case was over until I now learned that there was still a Supreme Court case there waiting. From appeal court to. I'm like, okay, if time is not taken, they might go to
higher court.
What's the court remaining now? Because they've gone to appeal court, they've gone to Supreme Court, magistrate court. Shabi, that's the name, right?
Maybe they would actually manufacture or just bring up another kind of
court. Or be Osun court. See, the people have won, just let it be, because the Osun State election was actually very open.
Yes.
It was very open and clear.
Extent, and the Ekiti State election as well.
The Ekiti State election, I don't know for Ekiti State, but I can say about Osun State. Not because I like Adeleke. Of course, I do like him as a person, because he's
senator.
The dancing governor.
Governor now.
I see him as a free-minded person. He's an open person. And then for the likes of Davido being they being in the circle too, you know, being the family, you know, Davido is loved by everyone because of his contribution to people, and he has affected a lot of people, you know. But then, Governor Yetola, I don't know, I think it's another time off for you, though.
All right, we have Mr. Damian Osas. I can see him in the comment section. You can as well join us on this program by calling in. Let's have your opinion, your contribution on the tribunal being considered. The tribunal considering PDP and Labour Party's live broadcast request. Some Nigerians are saying that it might cause a lot of, you know, more harm than good. But on the other hand, as well, for transparency, more people.
It's not. I don't really think it's going to cause any harm. You know, like when one of our respondents said something yesterday, it's actually like is an opinion. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. So I don't really think it's going to cause any harm, because if you do something and it's transparent, at least to an extent, they will not really come after you like that. They'll feel like, okay, we saw how the whole thing went. Okay, and then the judges as well. Sorry, yes, of course, the judges, they should try as much as possible to make sure that they actually do this thing the way it is supposed to be
done. Yeah. Okay, crisis rocks APC over zoning of Senate President and Speaker. Before we saw a report whereby they said they've actually, you know, accepted Godswill Akpabio to be the Senate President. But also some people, some stalwarts, some stakeholders in the APC don't want it. So now it is just like a little bit of, you know, crisis and hiccups going on in the APC when it comes to. I
believe the people that doesn't like that wouldn't like it.
From the southeast, some are saying, okay, the south has not been in that position before, so they should give it to them. You know, it's just a mixture of, you know, crisis.
I feel that the disagreement is actually coming from the southeastern senators, because they feel that it is actually they're supposed to be the ones. Okay. They're supposed to be the one that will go for the seat of the Senate presidency. So why go into the south? But then, like someone did, Mr. Matthew did say something yesterday. I don't know if you can remember. Was it Mr. Matthew or someone else? Or,
what did he say?
Or Mr. Samson? I think one of our respondents did say something yesterday. They said the southeast have actually occupied the Senate presidency seat before. But I don't know.
Someone said that,
Someone said that, but I don't know.
Like but twice or something.
But I know the South is occupying the Deputy Senate presidential seats.
Yeah.
But the Senate presidency seat, I don't know. I think we need to make that research to know if it's actually true. But then, for the sake of equity and fairness, why don't they give the Southeasterner this position?
Well,
but then if you're talking about giving it to a Southeasterner, who would it be?
Well, I think from my personal opinion, I think they shouldn't zone it to one particular place.
And of course,
they should drop it in between.
I don't think, because the ruling party, because APC has a president-elect, the Senate presidency is only restricted to the APC.
No, it's not only restricted to them.
So, how come the other political parties are not making move?
I think it's because the APC now has outnumbered the other political parties. So, to a very large extent, they would have an IRC on who becomes.
Because if you look at the House of Rep, I feel that there are more like other political parties in there than the APC.
No, I'm not sure of that. I think there are more APC than other political parties.
In this incoming administration?
Even in the incumbent administration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I also think it shouldn't be zoned to one particular location. I think they should drop it in between two locations, the southeast and the south-south. Okay, there's this thing from our respondent yesterday. He said the Southeasterners have actually gotten this position about 2 or 3 times, and the South-South have never been in that position. So drop it in between them, then let them vote. Whoever wins, you just take the position. I think it would be fair to them like that. We didn't give it to one person, we didn't give it to you. We drop it, now fight it out. We should be able to get it, just decide who wins. Or maybe they should bring head together and produce both the Senate President and the Speaker or something. I think that would actually solve the whole puzzle. Because if you give it directly to the Southerners, it would be it would cause a little bit of would I say rift between the Southerners and the Southeasterners. So I think they should just drop it in between them and just let them just fight for it.
Okay, let's take a look at this feedback we have. We got here from Mr. Damian Osas. He said, "Morning, guys." Good morning, Mr. Damian Osas. Okay, he said, I don't think it will cause any rift or harm. I believe what Nigerians are asking for is transparency. The issue on hand is not a high classified issue that should be hidden behind the public eye.
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually
true,
true.
that's true, that's true.
Obvious truth there. Not sure why anyone is making a fuse about the whole case being publicized. We keep asking for a new and better country, but we argue about stuff that should abide.
That should aid our progress.
Sorry, how come I said
Yes.
abide? That should aid our
It's
progress.
too much, Gary.
I don't drink Gary that much. Honestly, what Nigerians are asking for is transparency, like we said
I
before.
think what Nigerians want now is progress, because I don't think even if they actually televise these things, how many average Nigerians out there, how many youths will leave his or her work and be looking at the court proceeding? And some people don't even understand what they're actually doing there. They just want to hear, is it Obi that won, or is it Atiku, or is it Tinubu?
Mind you, a lot of people
That's just what they want.
a lot of people actually particular about this court proceeding. Honestly speaking, because some people can't wait. See, it will shock you to know.
Is it about the process or the eventual winner? Which one?
Both
are
the
they
process and the eventual winner. Because some people may not really want, okay, they've announced this person. Okay, how did it happen? Some people want to know. It may shock you to know that some people actually like sit down in their offices and tune in. If you don't have a television, there is no how. You have a smartphone, you definitely go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because some channels will definitely televise the whole thing since the tribunal have permitted such.
Yeah, and also we would actually televise it.
Definitely, we will televise it. Okay,
If
but
they
some
do.
people, it is not just about you want the right thing done. Some people want to know how did they arrive at that conclusion.
Yes,
They want to know. So that is why a lot of people are calling for the government
Video
and the tribunal
proceedings
to be televised. And I'm actually very happy that they've actually yielded to the request of Nigerians.
It's not as if they've accepted to televise it, but it's now, on the table. They are looking at ways to actually televise the whole process.
And I feel the right thing to do
is
is
good.
I
And
think
to
the right
even
thing to do is
project
to
Nigeria's
televise.
image out there to the world that they are being transparent, even if they wouldn't be transparent 100%. There's nobody in this world that can actually be transparent 100%. It's not possible. But to
At
a
least to
very
an
large
extent.
extent, they should be transparent. We have a comment from Mr. Damian. He said, if it's to argue about Omo banning in the House of Assembly.
Such madness.
Well, there was a time when they said they wanted to ban Pomo.
I remember that story too. I did
just
remember.
like,
and then it was televised.
I was just like, how can we stoop so low to banning Pomo when you have more important issues to talk about? Pomo is now part of the whole process.
I kind of feel that there's no other, there's no important issue at hand now in the country other than the election tribunal.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
that's what everybody's attention is there. Forget about the swearing in.
And some people are saying that that is it a must for the president-elect to be sworn in on May 29? Like constitutional, is it a must for him to be sworn in? That if they are not done with this tribunal, is it even right? Is it okay? Is it a must, or can they postpone the swearing in till after the winner has been decided?
Well, I don't know where
there.
it is written in the Nigerian constitution that a president-elect must be
As
sworn in
on that day.
on the 29th. I also remember that there's June 12th.
Yeah, exactly. Democracy Day.
Democracy Day, but then they've changed it to, it's no more June 12th. I think that's why they brought it down to May 29th. They called June 12th now, I think Abiola Day or something like that.
Well. And also, Erufai wants 80% for states to revert back to 1963 constitution. Well, I've been saying that normally this system Nigeria is running is not a true federal system of government or whatsoever, anything. I don't know where they are running this kind of system in the world that the country would actually move forward. Now he's saying that looking at the formation and how the country is being run, let's take a look at the whole report here. He said if the revenue sharing is reversed to 20% for the federal government and 80% for state, the federal government will then relinquish most of its current responsibilities to the state. And also, the APC had listed restructuring as part of its campaign promises to Nigerians prior to 2015 elections, which brought the party to power. The committee recommended, among other things, that power be devolved to state on issues such as policing and resource control. However, a few weeks before the end of the APC-led government, the party has yet to implement the recommendations made by the El Rufai committee. Right now, there is, I think there is too much weight on the federal government instead of those weights to be going on the state government. Now, the policing is being controlled by the federal government, which is the Inspector General of Police. I think every state should be accountable. They should be, even if not 90 to 100%, the governor should oversee the affairs of his police officers there, because they understand their people there. They know how they would treat them. There's no way you would actually, people living let me just take an example of Nasarawa State now, or Benue State and Lagos State. You can't compare the three together. How they do their things there, what is wrong in Nasarawa State might be right in Lagos State here, and what is right here might be wrong over there. There are some states whereby I think there are moral police there. If you put on a particular dress, they will get you arrested and stuff. They might get you even,
like in Kano State,
you might be in detention drinking of beer. But now we have the same police, just one police, one IG controlling all the old police in the 36 state of the federation. So I think to some extent, if there's devolution of power, the state should be 80% in charge of their destiny. Of the governor should be 80% in charge of their state. Then the 20% should be going to the president. By then, there will be not too much force on who becomes the president. There will be more focus on who becomes the governor. Because by then, if there are issues going on in the state, you don't hold the president accountable or responsible for their problems. We hold the governors, because the governors are much more closer to the people. It's like someone sitting in one corner of the Federal Capital Territory. Then you want to speak on behalf of the people in Ogun State or Osun State or Nasarawa or Benue or Kogi State, when you don't even know how they think there or how they do their things. How do you know? You can't even know. You don't have any idea. So I think to some extent, the central government should have little power, then give majority of the power to the state. I think that's how they are doing in the United States of America. And it's working well for them. So why are we not doing this thing? And that was how we were doing it before in 1963, 1962, 1964. It worked for us then until, the coup started, military and stuff. Then even for the 1999, while we wanted to go back to democracy in 1999, I think we should have reverted back to the 1963 constitution, not the one we have today that, according to Nigerians, is filled with a lot of loopholes.
Any government that comes in, they will amend and all that.
Let's
take a look at this feedback from Ray Panda. He said, "Waiting you, this guy, they always talk safe." Are you speaking for the youth or yourself? How do you know that people want to watch the proceedings?
Well, we actually, I spoke with some people on the street. It was a mixed reaction. Some people were just like, they were just concerned about who wins. Like, who would be, many people were saying, many people I spoke, majority of them said, we know this is Nigeria. They'll just, at the end of the day, they already know who wins. Then even if we watch the whole process, we saw the process of the elections. Even they said they would do the beavers and the IRF and the likes, but who they actually know to some extent, those people that were talking, they said who they think would win didn't later emerge, and they saw that the process was not really fair to them. It was not really open to the people. So many Nigerians now don't really trust the process anymore. Even if they are looking at it,
I kind of feel
they
that
believe there is more things behind the
scenes. It is not really about who you wanted to win did not win.
Not like who they wanted to win per se, but they saw the whole system of ballot snatching, not uploading results from the IRF server, and the INEC not being accountable to the people as well. No explanation, no nothing on why things didn't go how they said it would go, and why they didn't follow the electoral act. So many people have actually even, would I say, given up on the process. It's just like, regardless of who wins, let the person just progress. Let Nigeria progress regardless of who wins. That's what many people are saying now.
One of the issues that some people are actually having in this whole thing is, it is not about no matter who wins, they let everything. There are some people that if they win, they know that this thing cannot move forward. If you give this power to them.
I don't think.
You don't think really?
But I believe that regardless of who, either Peter or B, Atiku, I believe that any of those three would actually do better than this current administration. That's what I think.
Well, I don't know about that. My personal opinion is not needed here, but then this is Nigeria. Honestly, this is Nigeria.
Yeah, and also court hears Obi's motion today, Atiku on Tinubu citizenship tomorrow. A lot of issues. Can they actually finish this tribunal before May 29?
We still have like 2 weeks. We still have like 2 weeks.
2 weeks with adjournment and
the 2 weeks. If I'm to advise them, if I'm in that place too, I would say let's the adjourning should please stop for now. Just face the real thing, because all eyes are on the judiciary.
There are a lot of issues to be faced.
A lot of issues to be
one
faced,
of the issues
yes.
now is the citizenship issue. Another one is the drug case. Another one is the federal capital, the 25% in FCT. Another one is
the BVAS
machine. Another one is the Electoral Act. Another one is the forgery of result of certificates. Another one is
these things can actually be taken simultaneously, like once at a time, a day. Is it up to 20? Like, is the what's it called? The cases brought before the court, is it up to 20? Is not.
It's more than.
Is it? It's not up to 20.
The Labour Party is bringing his case against Tinubu, bringing his case against INEC, bringing his case against APC as a party. Another party, other parties as well, they are bringing their case against INEC. PDP too, they are bringing their case against another case entirely.
What they actually support, like now, they should.
This is just too
other
much.
ones can actually be judged later, but how?
Later, there's no way they would conclude.
Yes, with time.
Having, you know,
I mean, with time.
That would
right?
be after the swearing in.
It's still far. If they can do this every day before 29, these cases, everything will be settled. But just because, you know, our government now, they like to delay things, delay taxes and all that. If they take it one at a time, one after the other, before May 29, there's no how these cases, there's no how they won't finish it. Definitely, they will get to the root of the whole thing. If they take it one after the other. At a stretch, not adjoining anything. But like today, they have P2B's case. Then tomorrow, the article and then the certificate, whatever, tomorrow. Then on Friday, they should come up with another one on Friday.
You know,
then Monday. There's not how they won't finish.
You know, there are some cases whereby you start, you know, what's it called? When they start the hearing, when they commence the hearing of the cases, you realize that when the lawyer can't prove beyond reasonable doubt, whereby you still need more evidences. That's why some cases even go beyond 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months to even get to the root of the matter and have the evidence.
But now we are actually looking at how did INEC come up with the results that was announced on February 25th when Nigerians were asleep.
Even when all the results were not fully uploaded on the IRF server.
I think
that is another issue.
I think that is actually the major thing that should be looked into now. Because with that alone, if that one is being tackled, then it will probably affect the swearing in. You get? That's what I think. You know, I feel that they should actually look into that, because most people, that is what they are after, not even after any other thing.
How about the FCT? Some people are after the FCT. Like, is it in the constitution that you need to have 25%?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did INEC come up with the results that made them declare president-elect
as the winner?
You know, that's one I will now bring up to 25%. The results that were not uploaded in real time, and then the states that had glitches and all that.
Wow.
You know, that's where the most people, that's where their attention are. How did you come up with these results when there are these issues?
Do you think all those things can actually be resolved under 14 days? For the fact that they will still need to get other people to be witnesses that truly this thing happened.
Come on, since February 25th, all the evidence that's supposed to, the witnesses, what have they been doing since? No, for real. Except they want to just delay things. But I believe that everything by this time should have been in place for this case. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Over $200 billion of national asset has been lost to terrorism since 1999. Federal government, from banditry to Boko Haram to what's it called, to the herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen. They also listed end-SARS protest among as well. But you know, personally, we wouldn't actually list end-SARS protest as a terrorism or something, though that's what they target to be. But it's a kind of movement by the youth, protest against police brutality. Something aided, something actually you know caused the youth to go out there, and there has never been that kind of protest in Nigeria's history before. But after the federal what's it called, special anti-robbery squad, started using all these mini buses to go out there and even just harass people, take their phones. I saw a video recently where they were asking a guy to unlock his phone for them to search. I was just like, but the IG have said that they should stop searching people's phone. And you can't just judge people from their appearances or what they do. Though there are some set of people we have in our society that once you look at them, you feel like, okay, this is the kind of business you are into. But anyone can actually dress like that and not be in that kind of business to some extent. So I think all these things now, I even had a report yesterday. Okay, this morning, a colleague of mine posted on the WhatsApp status that police officers raided their areas yesterday. And what happened there is that there are some guys doing into Forex there. There were some freelancers there, you know. But the average Nigerian police officer out there, once he sees you with a laptop, especially you're living alone, you have your room well furnished. If you now have maybe just a car or something.
I have a blue light in your room.
You have a blue light in your room. You have system, everything. You're just looking dap. Then you're in for it. You are a Yahoo boy. You are a Yahoo girl or something. You know, so all these things coming up together, summing up $200 billion US.
This brings me to, there's someone I know, you know, he's an elderly man who has grown-up children. He said he was, here in Lagos, of course, he was going to a particular location to go get something, and then this group of armed policemen, you know, came, stopped him and asked him, did they do Yahoo?
Man.
Guess what he answered them?
Listen.
What is Yahoo? You say, the business that you do. You want to say, you are asking me, explain to me what is that? What is this thing? What is Yahoo? You know, they were like, according to the man, they said they were not looking at him as, it's like this man wants to, this man wants to, like, he won't enter or something like that. But seriously speaking, I kind of feel that one of the challenges that we have, and even though that we also sometimes we are the problem to ourselves, I feel that if you are from Osun State and you're a police officer or you're a military man or whatever, you know, you should serve in your state, not taking you away to a state like Zamfara, because you will get there. No, someone is saying something, you understand a different thing, and you think they're after your life. They are threatening you. You know, imagine, okay, a call Fulani who is a police officer, living all the way, which state will I mention now? Probably Sokoto, and you are being posted to Abia. You don't understand their language. There's something that they are doing there. You don't understand their way of life. Yeah. There's something about them that you actually understand. Anything they do might feel threats, and you'll be threatened, you know. So why don't they, like, no matter where you are, serve where you understand. Stay in your location because you understand your people. If they look at you like this, it does not mean this is bad, you know. You know, something like that. Yeah, so I feel that that's one of the issues, problems that we are having.
But now they're talking about the problem now. We've lost $200 billion to all this kind of terrorism and stuff. So I don't think they are talking about the solutions. What are the solutions now? Because right now, this administration is moving out now. It's like the terrorists are actually capturing more territories now. And they're even on a rampage. About 15 people have been killed yesterday in Kaduna State. 15 people. From all this terrorism, banditry, and the likes.
See, all these things are just based as they boil down to insecurity. Yeah. Like we said before, no matter the person who becomes the president of Nigeria,